With all of the healthy eating and meal prep that you guys have been doing, I thought you deserved a sweet treat this week. So I'm happy to share the recipe for my paleo brownies. They are rich and chocolatey and fudgy and delicious, soft and warm straight out of the oven. But if you want to get creative for Valentine's Day, which is in just a couple of days, you could also add a scoop of ice cream, whether dairy or dairy-free, and a homemade strawberry sauce on top, and I will show you how to make that. But I also want to say a quick word on sweet treats and desserts that are labeled paleo or gluten-free or vegan, and remind you that many times these are still loaded with sugar and not exactly healthy. Occasional indulgences are definitely okay, but I want to make sure that we're not fooling ourselves into thinking that some of these items are healthier than what they are. All right, so with that disclaimer, let me show you how to make these delicious paleo brownies. Start by preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and then get all of your ingredients ready. I know many of you in Europe and other parts of the world don't have refrigerated eggs, but for those of us in the US who do because of how our eggs are processed, you want to get your eggs out of the fridge so that they can come to room temperature. Add a half a cup of coconut oil and 1 cup of chocolate chips to a bowl. If you're not dairy-free, you could also use butter or ghee instead of the coconut oil. We want to melt these two items together, and you can do that either in a double boiler over the stove or in a microwave oven. If you do use a microwave, just heat in 20-second increments until the chalk is mildly warm and melted, but not hot. And make sure to give it a stir in between each 20-second increment. You'll need an 8-inch by 8-inch square baking pan for the brownies, and I line mine with parchment paper so it's easy to lift the brownies out. Now, a quick trick with the parchment paper is to measure it about the width of your baking pan, and instead of using scissors to cut it to size, just fold the sides in to get it to fit. This keeps the edges of your brownies all nice and straight rather than crumpling the parchment paper into the pan. In a large mixing bowl, crack 3 room temperature eggs and add 3/4 cup of coconut sugar. You could also use a low-carb granulated sugar of your choice, like monk fruit, if that's your preference. To that, we'll add a 1/4 cup of cacao powder and 1/3 cup of tapioca flour. Because I want fudgy brownies and not cakey brownies, I'm using only tapioca flour this time around and not adding almond flour or coconut flour. The secret ingredient in this recipe though, which you've seen me add before in my paleo chocolate cake, is espresso powder, as it really adds richness to the chocolate. Lastly, we'll add a half a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and then blend it all together. You do want to start your hand mixer on the lowest setting so that you don't accidentally blast tapioca flour all over your kitchen. You could also use a whisk and blend this together by hand. After all of those ingredients are combined, add your melted chocolate, which should be at room temperature, and then mix them together on medium speed for another minute or until your mixture has thickened up to the consistency of cake batter. Run a spatula around your bowl and then pour the brownie batter into your cake pan. Use your spatula to push the batter into all the corners and make sure it's fairly flat, then pop your brownies in the oven for 25 to 28 minutes. You really don't want to overcook these brownies, so if they seem a little soft to you in the middle when you take them out, that's okay. While the brownies are cooking, I'm going to whip up a really quick strawberry sauce, and if you've watched my chia seed jam recipe, this should look familiar. It's actually the same process of quartering then cooking the strawberries, though I'm not adding chia seeds this time around. You could also substitute the strawberries with raspberries, blueberries, or blackberries, so feel free to get creative. Heat a pot on medium heat and then add the strawberries to the pot. To the strawberries, we'll add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice and 1 to 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, depending on how sweet you would like your sauce. Stir this together, and in a couple of minutes, your strawberries should start to break down. After about 5 minutes, your strawberries will be really soft, and then I take a potato masher to them to break down any larger pieces. Remove your brownies from the oven and let them cool for 5 minutes in the pan. I know the smell will have you wanting to cut into them right away, but do let them sit for a couple of minutes. Then just pull the parchment paper out of the pan, super easy, and slice them up. The brownies will be warm and fudgy, and let's be honest, I usually pop one in my mouth right away. If you're serving these paleo brownies on their own, I also love to add a little sprinkle of flake sea salt. Sea salt enhances the flavor of chocolate, and it's an amazingly delicious and simple combo. But if you want to get fancy, let's kick these brownies up a notch. Just add a scoop of your favorite ice cream, and while I do have several vegan ice cream recipes on my website, I'm going with a store-bought version today. Then drizzle a few generous spoonfuls of your strawberry sauce, and because mine is still warm, it's melting the ice cream into a gooey mess that I am perfectly happy with. I hope you guys enjoyed today's paleo brownies recipe, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss my next video.